So this guy in an earlier comment said that he's 20, he's never had a girlfriend, and he also says, bro, you do not relate. No girl has ever liked me. I feel worthless. So I know I said how many girls like you is a innate way to tell if you're valuable or not. And that is still true. That is not a lie. But I will tell you this, you're young, you're in your building phase, you're not supposed to have any value, you're supposed to be building your value. You understand? I'm a lot older than you. And it took me a while as well, you know? And I'm not going to act like, I was getting a bunch of girls since the beginning of time. I struggled with them myself in the very beginning. And I just kind of learned from my mistakes. So I would argue your biggest problem, I don't know how you look. I went on your profile. I don't know how you look, but I would argue your biggest problem is that you're not putting yourself out there. And what I mean by that is that you're too afraid of a girl's opinion. One of the best ways to get girls is not care about their opinion. And I don't mean disrespect them, to be clear, but I mean you're going to stutter and you're going to be, lame when you care about their opinion so much that you're monitoring yourself to the degree you can't perform. So let's say there's a girl, you want to get her number, and you stutter, you're afraid, and then you overthink it, and then you're thinking about yourself, oh, I said this word wrong. Or, I said whatever, or I did whatever, or maybe I was fidgeting. Who cares? Who cares, man? Who cares? She's a rep, she don't matter, who cares? Got her number, all cool, don't got her number, her loss, who cares? When you start having that attitude, you'll realize a lot of these girls don't have any power, You're going to be afraid of nothing. I will also tell you, I've slept with a lot of females, like in the hundreds, and it's really not that special, bro. The other guy saying, like, getting the punani isn't that special. It really isn't. And I understand where you're coming from, because, of course, I was a virgin at first, too. And it seems so special, and the pinnacle of life seems to be a girl and stuff like that. But there's so much more to life, man. And you'll feel so much more fulfilled when you work on yourself rather than revolving your value or your time around females. And I want to make sure this is clear. I'm not anti-female or anything like that, but I think that a lot of guys, they focus too much on females in a way where their happiness and their value is built on a female. So, not to contradict myself here, but when I say your value, like an innate amount of your value is correlated to a female, or you can tell how valuable you are because of how many females like you, that is true. Because you have excess resources. I don't know how or why, but females can smell it out. Because I'm like a minimalist, but females always know I have money. I don't know how. So even when I drive my Buick, they're like, oh, he got money. I don't know if how I move or how I talk, but they always can smell it out. That's why I say that. That does not mean that, you could be successful, right? You could be smart, successful, have money, handsome. But if you don't have the characteristics or the traits to know how to get females, then it doesn't really matter. And of course, you'll still attract females, but you'll attract the wrong females. Dating and personal success are completely different things. And it's hard to differentiate that. So the main thing is, since you're 20, focus on yourself, build yourself up, have, objective value, meaning that you can take care of your family, you can take care of yourself, you're stable, you don't have any financial problems, you have 10,000 in the bank, in your savings, and your savings account should have at least a 5% interest rate. Understand finances, understand taxes, understand interest. Once you have these abilities, once you have these skills, you have objective, value, and females will naturally come. So I don't know how you look, but, hit the gym, don't be a string bean, don't be a well, but be fit or slim. Not even slim, but just be more fit, athletic. Even bigger girls don't want a bigger dude, unfortunately. So understand what females like, turn yourself into what females like. That's all you got to do, man. I'm not saying be fake, but you just have to say, hey, I like these type of females. Like, I don't like bad bees. I don't like them. They're unattractive. So most bad bees don't find me attractive because I don't appeal to them. I appeal more to like classy, more, old school type of, what is that? Was that retro? Or trad wife? Whatever you want to call it. I appeal to more of those type of girls, more higher class females. That's why I have higher class females talk to me, because I've turned myself into that. Or nerdy girls. That's who usually likes me. But the bad bees and the girls who listen to Cardi B and all that stuff, they don't like me, man. And the girls who like T Swift, they like me. So basically turn yourself into that, build yourself up, man, and don't sweat it too much. Like the comment said, I don't want this to be too long, but like the comment said, under you, that replied to you, man, it's really not that special. Like getting pee, bro, I promise you, it causes more problems than it is useful, man. Seriously. Like, I know I have a very unique setup because I make money for my girls, but it costs you money, it costs you time, it costs you patience, it costs your mental health, man. Like, it's not worth it, bro. It really isn't worth it. Like, long term is not worth it, man. So build yourself up, and then once it doesn't affect you, go for it.